From the front page of the Yonkers Statesman, December 20th, 1916. Headline, Will Release Americans. 200 Americans detained in Syria and Palestine by the Turkish military authorities have been granted permission to leave Beirut on condition they intern at Beirut for a month to make valueless any military information they may have. The United States has repeatedly made diplomatic efforts to free these 200 Americans, some of whom are missionaries and others naturalized citizens, and until now every effort has been thwarted by the Turkish military commander. Efforts will be made to have the time for internment shortened. The cruiser Des Moines, now at Alexandria, will go there. Headline, Report Lull in War Operations. Further development of the peace movements in Europe now awaits the presentation of the formal reply of the Entente allies to the Central Powers. The proposals of British Premier David Lloyd George and Premier Briand of France indicate the reply will be speedily forthcoming. Military operations on the European battlefields are at a low ebb. German Marshal von Mackensen's driving in the Romanian campaign seems nearly at an end in any event. Whether or not some future move of an important nature is in contemplation. Reports show comparative quiet is prevailing now on the French-Belgian front, while the latest reports show little except artillery duels and skirmishes along the Austro-Italian fronts. Reports show rains and fog are prevailing in Macedonia, and important military movements are impractical. Berlin reports the Russians made several attacks along the northern Romanian front yesterday, but without success. General Berthelot, the French military strategist, has asked to be recalled from the Romanian front, where he has been for some time, according to reports received by a newspaper, which also says a majority of the British officers attached to the Romanian General Staff have left for England. British Premier Lloyd George's reply to Germany's proposals meets with approval in the House of Commons. The general comment is that if Germany really wants peace, she will, when the joint reply is received, state the terms on which we can form a basis of discussion. Russian troops operating in Galicia, say an official statement today, broke through the barbed wire entanglements in front of the Austrian advanced posts yesterday. The Teutons are said to have fled in disorder, leaving some prisoners in the hands of the Russians. Headline, Fender Saves Boy's Life. After being picked up and carried for 20 feet on the fender of a Park Avenue trolley car at the entrance to Getty Square at 9:45 p.m. yesterday, Fred Anderson Jr., aged 11, scrambled off the fender as soon as the car was stopped. He was none the worse for his experience. Motorman M.T. Mazzaferro was not aware that any person had been struck until a citizen called to him, when he quickly brought the car to a stop. The boy himself declared he was not hurt, and his father, who was with him just before he was hit, declined a police officer's offer of medical attention for the lad. This is the second time during the course of a week that the fender of a trolley car has been the means of saving a life. In the first case, a little girl was picked up in Riverdale Avenue in the same way and was unharmed. Headline, Board of Estimate begins consideration of city budget for 1917. And that's the news from Yonkers 100 years ago today.